Mr. Nick Hill, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to keep my coat on because I'm not planning to stay late, to be honest. I've been doing comedy since 2006 and I started off playing to small audiences and little pubs, and here we are. This is great, isn't it? This is well worth the trip because I'm from Gloucester. And I played proper fucking rugby. Not that, oh, we haven't put 13 players out in this week. I take it you played rugby league, that's what you were alluding to, wasn't it?
I played proper rugby, yeah.
Oh, fuck off. No chance. So, this is nice to be out, because we've had a rough 3 years, haven't we? It's been horrible, you know, we've gone through Brexit. And I don't mind telling you, I voted Remain, not for any strong political reasons, just purely the fact that there's absolutely no way I want to go back to washing my own car on a Sunday. I've got to be honest, that joke normally goes down far better. It got me thinking about the creation, because the Bible tells us God created the world in 7 days, and if he did, he had to be Polish. There's no way Brit would have done it, was there? Can you imagine if God was English? Right? He would have turned up the week before, promising Earth. That's also a cracking joke that was gone Day one, he probably would have turned up, hour late. Day two, he would have turned up on time, but at 10:30, or just got to pop out for supplies. Day 3 and 4, you wouldn't have seen him. On day 5, he would have come back, started at 8:30. By 9:30, he would have had a bad back and said, I can't continue. And we would have asked, well, is there any chance you can do it on Saturday and Sunday? Not hoping no chance, I don't work weekends. And that would have been it, wouldn't it? And so we've gone through Brexit and we've gone through COVID, although we're still going through it, and we've obviously got the tragedy that is the Ukraine crisis at the moment. And I'm thinking, what else is to come? You know, there's the nuclear threat, but to me, the worst thing at all, and I think this is, you know, it's there, alien invasion, without any shadow of a doubt. And I've got to be honest, I was doing a gig in Swindon last night, and I was looking around and thinking, fucking hell, it's already started. It's already begun. Earlier this year, I went to the Leicester Comedy Festival and I won an award. The Silver Stand-Up, which is basically a competition for those over 55. There's no upper age limit at all, so I've got to be honest, backstage it was like God's waiting room for comedians. It wasn't a pretty sight. One of the acts fell asleep just before he's due to go on, and so he said, should we wake him? That'll increase our chances. And I won. I beat 8 other people in the final, and it was fantastic, and I phoned my wife. I said, you never guess what? She said, what? I said, I've only gone and won. She said, oh, that's brilliant. What did you win? Trophy. I said, I'll show it to you when I come home. 2 hours later, I'm at home, I showed her the trophy. She said, anything else? No, just the trophy. 3 days before she said, when were you going to tell me about that £500 cash prize? I'd had that earmarked for something else, so I've got it. And then I did the gig, and I thought, I needed maybe to change my appearance, so I bought a hat. I bought this hat, and I'm really pleased with it because it's really versatile. But, I mean, you can just wear it as a standard hat, but it'll do so much. You can wear it like this. Well, I can wear it like this. You can put on glasses like this. And all of a sudden, like, you become a bad boy, innit? Like last week I was doing a gig like not far from here now, a little village called Ashton Keynes. And I come out on the stage and I said, it is really nice to be here in your village in Ashton Keynes. And this lady went, excuse me, it's Keynes. I said, thank you for that, love. Do you live in a house? She said, yes. I said, do you have a front door? She said, yes. I said, do you lock your front door? She said, yes. I said, what do you use to lock it with? She said, a key. How'd you spell that? She shut up after that. You can also, just by changing the hat, I'll put the pot down. you can just put it on the side like that, and all of a sudden, you become a really little cheeky Irishman. It was after the race, as a challenge to see the horses, like, or maybe come round the pasture for tarmac in your drive. And then what you got to do, you bring it round to the front. Drop the fucking thing down like this. Change your voice and you become a Peaky Blinder. Well, I love the Peaky Blinders. It wouldn't have worked if it had been set in Liverpool, would it? No way. Alright mate, do you want to come and join us? We're the Peaky Blinders. Like, that accent just doesn't work at all, does it? I've got to be honest, I only wrote that this afternoon. I thought that would go down far better. I'm not being paid for this, so actually I don't fucking care. But the other reason I bought this hat is because I'm getting older. I am the oldest person in this room. I'm 64, right? So any shadow of a doubt. And I hate getting old. I was alright at 50. I could deal with that. Free life assurance, that's what I got at 50. Load inundated, free life assurance. I could deal with that, that was fine. 60, funeral plans, right? That's I was bombarded with email. Now I know a bit about funeral plans because my mum died in 2019 and she had a funeral plan with the co-op. And being her only surviving son, I had to go and deal with it. And I went in and sat down. And to be fair, the lady, she was brilliant. She said, look, everything's been taken care of. Your mum thought of everything. The funeral's paid for. The church is paid for. Have you thought about one for yourself? It was like, oh. It's a bit of a wake-up call. And I said, well, no, not really. She said, well, you should, because there's loads of benefits. You know, you get your funeral a lot cheaper, and then you can plan the wake, and you can have whatever entertainment you want. If you want to put some money behind the bar, you can choose what food you want. You can invite people. By the end of the conversation, I was fucking looking forward to the day. But my mum did die. She died in 2019, and she had dementia, and I don't know if anybody's sort of experienced it, but it is a horrible disease. And she'd never seen me do stand-up, and she said, after I die, will you talk about me on stage? I said, well, it's not really appropriate. She said, no, I think you should. It'd be a way of keeping my memory alive. I said, oh, okay, fair enough. And there's certain things happen with people with dementia. Like, one of the things is they get very paranoid about people stealing things from them. They're not, they're just hiding things and losing it. And Mum changed to Catholicism in 1974, and she was a devout follower of the Catholic faith. She wouldn't have a bad word said about it, about the pub, about anything. And I went round one Saturday morning, and she was there. I said, you right, Mum? Yeah. You had your breakfast? Yeah. The nuns gave it to me. The nuns, yeah, the two nuns that were here, side of my bed when I woke up, there were no nuns, but you cannot argue with somebody who's got dementia, right? Because in their world, that exists. Okay. Because when I came to see you, Mum, the front door was locked, wasn't it? So how do you think the nuns got in? Well, I don't know, perhaps they came in through the window. But that's not as bad as it sounds, because she lived on the ground floor flat. So I said, you know these keys that keep disappearing? Well, they don't disappear, people are stealing them, aren't they? I said, well, okay. I said, you don't happen to think that maybe the nuns took them? And she just blurted out, the thieving bitches. Another trait of people with dementia is they've got a tendency to wander. And Mum wandered about 4 or 5 times, and each time the neighbours managed to catch her. But on the last time, September 13th, they didn't catch her, and they phoned me up. I was at a party, and they said, your mum's gone wandering, Nick. And I'd had a drink, so I had to get my mate, and we went out, and I phoned the police straight away. Luckily, about 35 minutes later, I got a phone call to say we found her. She's in Gloucester Hospital. 2 days later, I got a phone call from the police because they have to assign a safeguarding officer. And he said, my name's PC Davis, I need to come see your mum. Can you meet me at the hospital? Yeah, that's fine. So I met in Gloucester Hospital at 6 o'clock, and we went in, and we were just chatting in the lift as we went up. I said, you've been in the police long? He said, yeah, about 20 years. I said, okay, and what experience have you got with dementia people? He said, well, I've only just joined the team. I said, okay, word of advice, don't believe a fucking word she tells you. And we went into the ward, and Mum was in a ward of 8 people, right? And it was quite quiet, it was nice, about 6 o'clock, and there's families coming in. And we went in, and Mum was led there. I said, oh, hi Mum, this is PC Davis. She said, have you come to arrest me? He went, no, Jim, I haven't come to arrest you. Well, have you come to arrest him? He said, no. He said, why would I arrest Nicholas? Well, he's only just been let out of prison. Right? Yeah. The volume in the ward started to drop. People were listening in. And then she said, and of course he murdered his brother. This policeman looked at me and he said, Did you? I said, no, my brother died in 2009 with ischemic heart disease. About 3 minutes went by, silence, nothing. People were waiting. And then she came out with, and of course he made me have sex with him before we were married. Right? This one woman in the other, that is disgusting. And I'm like, it didn't happen, did it? The policeman said, oh, I've heard enough of this. I think, we need to go. I said, yeah, we do. I can't put up with this anymore. So we got up to leave. And just as we were about to leave, my mother, under her breath, she was 90, said, of course, it's that poor dog I feel sorry for. And we got outside, and the policeman said, so have you got a dog? And I went, well, yeah. And he went, oh, right, that bit's true then. And that was it. And like, the look of disgust in his... Anyway, that's my time, I think. I think I've covered everything. I feel like perhaps we need a discussion if there's anything else anybody wants to raise. There's a bit of therapy after that. You've been an absolute fucking challenge. But no, you've been lovely. Thank you very much. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, get that round of applause going.